If you've ever wanted to shoot a documentary by yourself, or largely by yourself, with a small, compact package that handles professional audio, professional video, timecode sync, and all the rest, then this video is for you. I'm in Mexico, and I've been here for a week, and I'm shooting a documentary on a mission base here in the area of Oaxaca, Mexico. So I'm going to take you through all of this gear. This is a Panasonic S5. This is a MixPre-3 bag with a bunch of goodies in it with Wisycom and all that good stuff, and pistol grip. And I'm going to show you about how all of this works and take you through the full workflow. So this documentary is focusing on Spanish-speaking ministries that are here in this area, and the project is to just embed myself with these different groups and obtain footage, interviews, Cinéma Vérité, good moments, preaching, teaching, all that good stuff. As a freelance location audio guy, I could not come down here without a serious audio package. And this bag contains a lot of gear in a small form factor. I'm going to take you through this first, okay? This is a Stingray utility hip pack. This is probably my new favorite bag of all time. You can wear it on your hip. You can wear it as a crossbody. I've been wearing it right here on myself as a crossbody, and I'm going to take you through this right now. So in this bag, you have two main compartments, as you can see here, two main compartments. And it's a little messy because I've been working this week. The main thing here in the front is I have a Sound Devices MixPre-3. Let's power that up. And the MixPre-3 is powered by this L series battery sled. I just have two high capacity small L series batteries on there. And then I've got my wireless receiver plugged in, headphones and timecode, and my cable for my boom. So we're gonna get into all that here in just a second. I'm gonna unplug these cables just so I can show you what I got going on here. So unplug all these cables. All right, so that's the mixer completely, out of the bag. I like this bag because it slots right in here. Okay, slots right in. Now, I also like this bag because it has this utility pouch here, just for extra things. This is where I've got stickies and cleaning supplies and stuff like that. Okay, and then on the top of the pouch, I really like it because it's got this area here where you can put pens, pencils, safety scissors, all the good stuff. There's my wireless. We'll talk about that in a second. Microphones, also talk about those in a second. My MTP61s. So that's how that bag works out. You've got two slots here, and then you've also got two slots here, plus a protective plastic pouch. And it's pretty awesome. So let's talk about how this is wired up. I'm going to take the bag away for just a second so you can see how this is wired up. And we'll talk about that pistol grip in a second here too. All right, so on the MixPre-3, this is the version 2 of the MixPre. And I use, for my wireless down here, because I'm a Wisycom guy, all right? I'm a Wisycom guy through and through. I've got an MPR 52 ENG receiver, which is a 2-channel receiver. It's a diversity receiver, and I use this, powering it up, to listen to these two MTP61s, okay? So two MTP61s paired together with this MPR 52. And then I use the Sanken COS11D microphones. I have two that are black. Okay. Two black that I've been carrying around. And then I have one that's beige. Okay. I really like this beige one. All right. We'll talk about that in a second. But so I've been carrying around all of this, and including this timecode box in here. That's not it for the bag. Okay. And then these are my headphones. These are the Shure SE215s. I like these because they're small and nimble, and the cable's not too long. So how do I wire all this up? It's pretty simple. Got my time code. I take that into the aux in port, and then inside the MixPre, I jam from that. Okay. And then I've got my MPR52. I take that and I put that. This is a TA5 connection off the top here, and it breaks out to 2 XLRs. Blue for 1, red for 2. So I just take that, click that into 1 and 2. All right. And then this guy here is a coiled cable that I use to connect when I use my Sanken CSM1 on the pistol grip. So I just leave that plugged in to channel 3. Okay. And then of course headphones will go in there. Now let me get this back in the bag and see how it all snugs in there, okay? So we've got our Stingray. So again, this just slides right in. Just like that. And I should note that I actually have one of my extra Lav accessory kits down in here. I just have it positioned down in there to give the mixer the proper height so I can access the knobs. Okay. So then that goes in there like that. And then I've been taking this and just attaching it to that pocket, or actually putting it in the pocket. So I've just been putting it in that pocket right there. Riding just like that. And then I take these guys, my wireless transmitters, and I just house them right there so they're ready when I need them. And then I've just been putting these COS11s kind of right here so they're ready when I need them. So let's talk about this real quick. One of the things I've been trying to do is I've been trying to get different colors of lavs because the COS11Ds come in all these different colors. So I started out with beige. I might get also gray and brown. What I really like about having different colors of lavs is that you can pick the lav that will blend in with the shirt or the skin, and it'll just blend better, okay? Because on this job, because I'm by myself, well, I should clarify, I'm not by myself completely, okay? There is another guy down here who lives in this area who I got connected with, who runs a GH6, a Lumix GH6. And he's a shooter, he doesn't do any audio, but he's been shooting with me sometimes, not all the time. His name's Ben, and he's been shooting with me probably about half the time. He comes in with his GH6, and then when he does that, I give him one of my tentacles so that we're all in sync, okay? So I haven't been completely by myself, but mostly, okay? Because I'm supplying all of this gear, and this is my workflow. So let's talk about the camera real quick. I'm gonna move the audio out over here. So let's talk about this camera, all right? This is a bee-free tripod. So the reason I brought one of these is because, again, space was limited, and I was trying to get down here without tons and tons of cases. And again, I'm carrying all this stuff around. Sometimes I have to walk up to a mile to get to these different places that I'm shooting. And this is the tripod of choice for this location. It's not my tripod of choice in general, but it is for this week, okay? It's just a standard bee-free aluminum tripod, pretty basic. And the way that I've got this camera rigged up, I'm gonna rotate this over this way so you can see what we've got going on. It's a small rig cage. This is the cage that I bought when I originally bought the camera like 4 years ago or something like that. I'm running a basic small rig tilting handle over here that I have my Portkeys monitor attached to. And then we have the XLR1 adapter by Panasonic. It just clicks into the hot shoe. And this is my timecode cable. Okay, so then that's going to click into tentacle trackie. Okay, Velcro to the front. And then over here we have a combination of some Rycote mounts with a Sennheiser microphone mount. And then this is a CSM1 by Sanken. What I like about this is that I can rotate this handle, okay? I know some people like to mount their monitors up top, but I like it on my handle, you know? I really do, because I can rotate my handle and I can get this monitor where I need it to be. So when I'm low, I can be like that. When I'm high, I can be like that. So I just like having this twisting access, you know? It's working for me, okay? Then I forgot to mention that on the front of this, I have a Nissi True Color ND filter. This is what that is. And then this is just the kit lens, the 20-60 kit lens, okay? When I first bought the camera, it came with the kit lens. I've considered upgrading, haven't done it yet. The only other lens I have is I have a 50mm lens, prime. But this kit lens is extremely powerful, right? It can do a ridiculous amount of stuff. So what I've been doing is I've been bringing the audio bag along, and I'll put this in the configuration that I have been wearing it in. So I've been wearing it like that. So right here you can see that I can get access to all the controls on the bag. And then when I have lavs out on people, I can control them right here. It's really a great setup. I'm enjoying it. Now the other configuration that I've been doing is the following. So this is my coiled cable that I have left for my pistol grip. And then this is just a radius pistol grip. So the other configuration I've been running is this one. So I take this CSM1 off and I mount it on this radius pistol grip. And then this is just a Bumblebee wind bubble. Right? All right, so then I take this cable here, plug her in, and then I am plugged into pistol grip, okay? Now, what do I use this configuration for? Well, I use this configuration, let me straighten that out. I use this configuration when I am with the other guy, with Ben. If Ben is shooting and I don't need to be shooting, then I'll use this to get audio while he's getting B-roll. And if we go up to somebody and get an interview, I can use this to get the audio for the interview. All right, so I got my headphones on. I like these because they're low profile. I'm gonna take a look at the bag here and just go through a little bit about how this mixer is set up and listen to some examples of these different mics. So, all right, recording on the bag. Okay, so check, check, 1, 2. This is the CSM1 going into channel 3, and you have to have phantom power turned on this particular unit. So phantom power is turned on. Check, check, 1, 2. So this is how the CSM1 sounds on the MixPre-3 2. Plugged into the Radius pistol grip with the Wind Bubble by Bubblebee. All right, let's turn on the MPR52 and get some wireless going. Okay, so the MPR52 is down here. So we just gotta power that thing up. Oh, it is powered up. Okay, already powered up. That's good. All right. So let's get an MTP61 going. Okay. All right. Power this up. Okay, so this is on channel 1 of my MPR52. Plug in the mic. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. All right, it's on channel 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Here's the mic. Might have a little bit of handling noise, but here we go. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. So there you go. So that's the MPR52 going in. So you can see here, I really like the MPR52 because it gives you lots of information about what's happening with the microphone. It gives you battery level of the microphone. It gives you audio level, transmission level, all sorts of great stuff. Okay. And then this just will ride in the bag. It's been doing great. I've been doing a maximum of 2 wires. I have 2 more Wisycom MTP61s with me that I have been using if I need to put additional mics out. Again, they won't go into the bag, but they'll just be recording on the units. Okay? I've been producing this documentary roughly for about a year. I've been down here a couple of times, and I thought I should make a documentary. And then when I came in October of 2025, I thought I really need to make a documentary because this place is pretty special. So how do I approach it? Well, I approach it by testing the avenues of access and opportunity. I always say the documentaries are built on that, access and opportunity. You need both of them to create a documentary. You actually really don't need fancy gear to establish access and opportunity. So you have to find out if the people that you want to document are going to provide you access. And if they're going to provide you access, are they going to give you a great opportunity to do so? The core of documentary is story. And if you don't have a story, you don't have a doc. If you don't have people willing to share their story, you don't have a doc. You have to have that opportunity. You can't just have an idea. Okay. So when I tested whether or not I was going to have access and opportunity, the doors opened wide up. When I put out the idea into the universe and told some people that I wanted to do this, it just opened wide up. And I immediately had access to interview people that I needed to interview and shoot the things I needed to shoot. So that was one of my main factors that just told me that this was opening up and I had a doc. Okay. Second thing is You have to gain the trust of the people that are telling you their story. You can't just show up with a camera without trust, especially if you're going to get emotional truth out of your subjects. When I say emotional truth, I just mean if you're going to get people to tell you the real thing about their life on camera, there has to be trust. All the fancy gear cannot build trust, okay? It's you that builds trust. You have to build trust with your subjects to get them to tell you their story, okay? That's up to you. As a documentary filmmaker, that is your job. Get them to trust you. Then they will tell you their emotional truth. So my tips for good documentary is to have an audio plan. Again, it doesn't have to be this audio plan. I'm showing you this audio plan with the Sound Devices MixPre-3 and my Wisycom wireless and my microphones and pistol grips and all this stuff. Like, I'm showing you that. It doesn't have to be that, okay? But you have to have a plan for audio. It can be as simple as having some DJI mics or some other wireless mics that you can afford and that you can bring, but you have to have a plan for audio. You cannot shoot a proper documentary if you're just getting sound from a camera, okay? Especially the built-in microphones. Built-in microphones on cameras are terrible, okay? So have a plan for audio. Buy the nicest microphones that you can afford. Buy the nicest microphone that you can afford to put on your camera. The nicest wireless microphones that you can afford to put on your subjects. Have a plan. Test your plan, okay? If you have gear that you know you're going to use and you know you want to integrate into a documentary, camera or audio or both, test it. Take it out. Shoot test footage. Pretend you're there, okay? Do tests. Bring the test footage into the editing software. Listen to it. Pretend like you need to synchronize it the way you need to synchronize it, okay? And don't underestimate the importance of bringing something along for timecode. It doesn't have to be technical, but there's other people that make timecode devices. Just don't underestimate that, because you're going to want to synchronize audio and video. If you're working by yourself, you need to be light and you need to be nimble. You can really get bogged down if you're carrying too much stuff. It's a balance to carry just as much as you need without going crazy, right? So this has been a balance, but everything you see here, I can carry. So I can put this mixer across my body, I can carry the camera, carry the tripod, I can carry all of it, and I need to know, like for my documentary, that I had to carry it quite a distance. So I've been walking up to a mile with this stuff. Let's take a listen to some samples here. This first example is when I was in the wood shop and I put a wireless on a guy that was working on a project, and I was interviewing him while he was working. This is a good example of using a Cinéma Vérité style. Put a microphone on someone and talk to them while they're doing something. It's more interesting. Got great natural sound with the CSM1, and it's going to be a good segment in the documentary.
Yo soy como el primer cristiano en mi familia. Yo vivo con mi mamá y mi hermana. Entonces, yo fui como el primero en conocer a Cristo, en llegar definitivamente a los pies de Cristo.
Here's another Cinéma Vérité scene where I was filming a group of guys working on fixing a weed eater. I had two lav mics out, and I was capturing nat sound with the CSM1.
El problema podría ser, bueno, ahorita ya Horacio limpió el carburador, ya se desmontó, se limpió, se volvió a armar y sigue presentando el mismo problema en lo que quitaban el carburador, Nick checó si había chispa y vamos a ver que no tenga algún tipo de fugas o esté tapado alguna manguera de gasolina que va hacia el carburador.
Here's another interview I did. I was trying to do most of my interviews outside because it's just really beautiful down here. And I had a lav on the woman, and we were in a pretty quiet place, but down here in Mexico, there's always noises of birds and all sorts of other things going on. So I think it worked out pretty well.
Cada etnia tiene diferente lengua, que es su lengua natal. Por ejemplo, los chatinos hablan la lengua chatina, los mixtecos hablan la lengua mixteca y nosotros los amuzgos hablamos el amuzgos. También existe una variante de amuzgos que es en el estado de Guerrero, los amuzgos de Guerrero. Entonces, ellos y nosotros hablamos el mismo lenguaje, el mismo idioma, pero con una pequeña variación.
I was in some situations where I just didn't have time to get a lav mounted up to somebody. And that's why I really like having the CSM1 mounted to the camera. So in those instances, I would just unplug my headphones from the mixer bag and plug them into the camera and make sure that I was getting a good level. Here's an interview where I just walked up to somebody and started talking to them. And this is coming straight from the CSM1.
Es un analgésico, es para el dolor o fiebre.
¿Es muy común?
Sí, es muy común. Sí. Es un medicamento que ayuda para cuando las personas tienen dolor de cabeza o dolor del cuerpo o fiebre.
Sí, diferente de aspirin o...
Ajá, sí, es diferente de la aspirina y del ibuprofeno.
Sí.
Hay personas que no pueden tomar el ibuprofeno o la aspirina les afecta en el estómago.
Okay, so I just finished an interview here, right in this little cafe area, and it was great. I was expecting one person, but I only had two, and it was really good. Sounded good. I was able to blend the lavs nicely. I used the beige lav for the female and the black lav for the male. Had great signal, and my idea here is to put their faces in the shade and have the background maybe blow out a little bit, but I try to pick a background that's got a lot of vegetation behind me so that it renders less, overexposed. One of the troubles I'm having down here is I don't have lights because, again, I can't carry lights with me. This is like guerrilla style filmmaking. So it's funny, the guy commented that he thought my rig was a estudio móvil, which is a mobile studio, which I took as a compliment. So anyway, here's a listen in on what that interview sounded like.
Nuestra relación con la base, híjole, es muy profunda. No solo es ministerial, trabajo, sino hay una relación de casa, de hijos, y sentimos que somos parte de la base misionera. Vimos muchas de sus inicios. Yo llegué aquí en el año de 1993.
So I hope this encourages you to get out there and shoot some documentary content. Try not to start with something if you've just beginning. Try not to start with something huge and ginormous. Try to start with a small, short documentary that you know you can succeed on, okay? Something that you know that you can shoot, edit, complete, and deliver. Because that is the power of doing these types of projects. It's not shooting and then taking 3 years to edit the thing. That's not how this works. Shoot, edit, deliver, repeat. Shoot, edit, deliver, repeat. Find a project that you can do, produce, shoot, conceptualize, get done, edit, deliver, next. It's all about reps, okay? So get out there and get your reps, and we will see you in the next one.